Today, we're breaking down the truth about Bitcoin anonymity. Welcome to BitcoinBytesHQ, simple Bitcoin explainers. This is educational content only, not financial advice. Let's go. Many people start using Bitcoin imagining it works like digital cash, private, permissionless, and untraceable. They download a wallet, generate an address, and send money without involving banks or governments. At first glance, it can feel anonymous. However, the reality is different. Bitcoin is pseudonymous, not fully anonymous. Being pseudonymous means you operate under a name that isn't directly tied to you, your wallet address, but every transaction is permanently recorded on the blockchain, a public ledger anyone can download and inspect. While the address itself doesn't show your identity, if it ever becomes linked to you, the entire history of that address becomes visible, retrospectively connecting every past and future transaction. True anonymity, by contrast, would mean there's simply no way to make that connection. Pseudonymity remains the first key concept. A wallet address is an alias, not your real identity. Modern wallets generate a new address for every payment automatically, often using hierarchical deterministic or HD wallets, reducing address reuse and making tracking harder. But the moment any address is linked to your real-world identity, for example, withdrawing from a KYC exchange, donating publicly, or even sharing a screenshot, the ledger can reveal the history tied to that alias. Many of these links happen through everyday slip-ups. Posting an address on social media, attaching it to a public receipt, or making a donation under your real name can all expose activity. Once that link exists, pseudonymity quickly becomes full exposure. The second important concept is traceability. Because the blockchain is permanent and transparent, analysts, companies, and law enforcement can trace coins from address to address. It's similar to watching water flow through a series of transparent pipes. Even if the path twists and turns, the flow can be followed. For example, if you withdraw coins from a KYC exchange to address A, and then send from A to address B, the flow is visible to anyone observing the ledger. Tools like mempool.space make it easy to watch this live. The third concept is KYC, know your customer. Most centralized exchanges, including Coinbase, Binance, and Kraken, require identity, proof of address, and other personal details, linking your real name to the deposit or withdrawal addresses. It's like putting your return address on a package. Once that connection exists, any coins touching that account can be associated with you. A key part of Bitcoin privacy begins with how you acquire coins. Non-KYC methods include buying with cash in person or through peer-to-peer marketplaces such as BISC or HODL, using Bitcoin ATMs that don't require identification for small amounts, or earning Bitcoin by providing goods and services. Each approach reduces the initial links between your identity and your coins, giving you a foundation for more privacy-conscious practices. Understanding pseudonymity, traceability, KYC, and non-KYC acquisition lays the groundwork for how privacy is layered on Bitcoin. These fundamentals let you control exposure at the start, which is crucial because what happens at the source often matters more than downstream fixes. Every Bitcoin transaction on the base layer is public. Inputs, outputs, and amounts are visible to anyone with a blockchain explorer. Analysts can use heuristics like multi-input clustering or change output detection to infer which addresses might belong together, and careless spending can quickly undermine privacy. CoinJoin is a collaborative method where multiple users combine inputs into one transaction, making it harder to tell which outputs belong to whom. Think of several people putting cash into a shared box in a dark room and withdrawing the same amount in different bills. Observers see mixed funds, but can't reliably match them to individuals. You can recall our transparent pipes from segment 1. CoinJoin adds a tangle that obscures some of the flow. Even so, if those coins later touch a KYC exchange, links can reappear. Some custodial mixers send coins to a third party and return different coins in exchange. Unlike collaborative CoinJoin, these require trusting the operator not to log or steal funds, and several such services have been shut down by regulators in recent years. Legal and regulatory risks are real, and technical benefits must always be weighed carefully. Layer 2 solutions aim to make Bitcoin more usable, but they also affect privacy in different ways. The Lightning Network, the most widely adopted Bitcoin Layer 2, uses state channels so that many payments occur off-chain and only the channel opening and closing appear on the main blockchain. This reduces public traceability for everyday spends because individual channel payments are not published on Bitcoin's public ledger, though routing nodes and payment paths can reveal metadata if not managed carefully. Other Layer 2 approaches offer additional privacy options. The Liquid Network is a federated sidechain where Bitcoin is pegged into native liquid Bitcoin, LBTC, and supports confidential transactions that hide amounts and details from public view. Mercury Wallet and similar tools leverage Layer 2 and Lightning capabilities to enhance privacy while retaining user control. Emerging approaches like state chains, ZK rollups, and stacks allow off-chain ownership transfers, batched settlement, or smart contract execution without broadcasting every transaction to the base chain. The key takeaway is that Layer 2 technologies influence privacy differently. Some reduce on-chain visibility, others obscure amounts or participants, and many unlock features beyond simple payments. None of them make Bitcoin magically anonymous on their own. Privacy on Layer 2 still depends on careful use and combination with other privacy practices.
Stronger privacy comes from operational control and layered defenses. Running your own Bitcoin node is foundational. It lets you verify and broadcast transactions independently, and when paired with Tor, helps prevent observers from linking broadcasts to your IP address. Node setups range from inexpensive single-board computers to desktops, mini PCs, servers, or plug-and-play devices. Cloud nodes are another option, though they trade some trust for convenience. Advanced techniques build on this foundation. PayJoin, BIP78, merges inputs from sender and receiver to break simple heuristics about ownership. Constant churning involves repeatedly mixing coins through multiple CoinJoin rounds to increase ambiguity, though it adds operational complexity and fees. Atomic swaps let users convert BTC to privacy-focused coins like Monero and BAC, which many consider more effective for reducing traceability than on-chain mixing alone, though it introduces technical complexity and regulatory considerations. Even with these steps, mistakes can compromise privacy. Consolidating outputs carelessly, reusing addresses, or depositing mixed or off-chain coins back into a KYC exchange can relink coins to your identity. Bitcoin privacy is probabilistic. It increases uncertainty and reduces exposure, but does not guarantee invisibility. Layer 2 technologies like stacks or rootstock can add programmability and smart contracts. They allow off-chain transfers or advanced operations, but introduce trust and security considerations different from the base layer, so privacy benefits vary depending on setup and usage. Bitcoin is software, and it evolves constantly. Future updates, new wallets, Layer 2 solutions, or privacy-focused innovations could improve anonymity in ways we can't yet predict. Privacy isn't a static feature. It develops over time, giving users more options to manage exposure and maintain fungibility. The principle to remember is that Bitcoin privacy is a practice, not a switch. It begins with careful acquisition of coins, continues through thoughtful transaction management, and incorporates operational measures like running a node over Tor. Layering CoinJoin, PayJoin, churning, UTXO management, address rotation, and judicious use of Layer 2 technologies all contribute. They make transactions harder to trace and protect fungibility, even while the blockchain remains transparent. A tiny next step? Think about how you could improve your privacy with Bitcoin using the tools available. Explore which combinations make sense for you without taking unnecessary risks. That's the truth about Bitcoin anonymity, simplified. If this helped, like, share, and subscribe for more Bitcoin explainers. Drop your biggest takeaway in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. See you in the next one. Thanks.